back to Living Local. The family tree tells the real-life story of two brothers who escaped slavery to join the Union Army to fight for freedom of their people during the Civil War. And here to tell us all about it is author Shelley Moore Guy. Finally, you are here. I'm telling you, you have been on my bucket list of people to get in. So
I'm happy to be here.
I'm absolutely thrilled.
Happy to be here.
Let's talk about how this story found you, because I'm always curious about that.
It really did find me.
Yeah.
Yes, a friend of mine, someone who became a friend, her name was B.J. Elsner. She was a reporter for the Quad City Times.
Okay.
She had edited a book about Rock Island County history. Mm-hmm. She and I met and about some other topics, and she found out that my maiden name was Moore.
Okay.
Or is Moore, and she asked me if I was related to Tim Moore. Tim Moore, people know him from the Amos and Andy show, television show. He played Kingfish. Mm-hmm. But he was renowned in other performance areas. And so she asked me if I was related because of my last name. I said, yeah, that's my great uncle.
Okay.
He was born and raised in Rock Island.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's great.
And so then about 5 minutes later, she says, well, if Tim Moore was your great uncle, I know who your great-great-grandfather was. And I thought, wow. You can't know, because I don't know, right?
Yeah.
And she had edited this book, the edited story of my great-great-grandfather, Charlie Wilson, made its way into this book.
Wow.
And I think it was put out in the 80s. And she brought me a copy. And then from there, we found out that his story was there, but the story was in his own words. Okay. He had been interviewed in like 1913 or 14 by John Hallberg from the Hallberg family.
Oh, yeah.
And so he had interviewed some Civil War veterans he called old settlers, and Charlie was one of them.
Wow.
And so Charlie's story ends up at the Rock Island County Historical Society with John Hallberg's papers, some photos, and everything from that day. My father didn't remember the story, but my Aunt Julia did. Okay. And she had other photos. She had photos of Charlie's wife, Eliza, my great-great-grandmother. And this would have been mid-90s. And so I've told the story. I'd be doing storytelling performances and share the story and read the story from the book. We have the unedited copy. Wow. And so through the years, I always wondered why, do you have this information? As an artist, you're always wondering how. Right, yeah. And because that's why it was such a good question. How did the story find you?
Yeah, I love that. And I love that, like, your family history's coming to life in this book.
Absolutely.
And what I love about this is it's a children's book with a very important message and a very important topic. And I love that, because a lot of times we don't get that. Right. And how's it been perceived so far?
Well, received very well.
Good.
We created, myself and some other individuals in the community, for those who don't know, part of Charlie's story and his brother Sandy Terry, they were both in the family, his mother Rachel and sister Celia, they were slaves in Glasgow, Kentucky before the Civil War. And and Charlie talked about that in his story, his interview with John Hallberg. Both the brothers had joined a Civil War regiment, the 108th United States Colored Troops. Okay. That regiment was sent to Rock Island Prison during the Civil War to guard Confederate prisoners at the prison camp at the site now, which is the Rock Island Arsenal. Okay. And so, that's part of the history, right? That's our history, local, national history that we were never taught. Right. No one was taught this, right? We knew that I think a lot of us knew that there were Confederate soldiers buried there, but we didn't know why, a lot of us. And so that's a huge part of the story. Yeah. The group I spoke about, we created a group called Honoring the 108th, and in 2019, we partnered with the Arsenal Museum, and we started for 2 years before COVID, we started having programs and inviting the community. Wow. So to tell the community the story.
Yeah, I love that.
And so So now there are some people who know because we've been out here talking about it, doing displays and things like that. And so the book now has arrived to tell the story in Charlie's.
And it took quite a village to create this too. This is amazing. Let's talk about some of your collaborators.
Well, first of all, I have to give thanks to the Midwest Writing Center.
Yes.
Ryan Collins is the director there. They published my first children's book, How Little Billy Learned to Play.
Yes.
And they wanted to see if it were possible, if we could make a story. And we did.
I love it.
And collaborators, sponsors, editors. My first editor was Genevieve. I can't think of her last name, so I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But anyway, and then I had other editors who were friends of mine, teachers, who helped me to see that it could be something that they could present. You know, and friends who helped me tell the story.
I love that.
And family and other friends who convinced me that it should be done.
Yeah. And how can viewers get their copy? Midwest Writing Center's website? I know you can order it on there.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Right. And you know, and people can also contact me. My email address is Shelley Moore Guy at yahoo.com. I'm on Facebook under Shelley Guy. I actually have a couple of dates. We have Kwanzaa coming up. Our Kwanzaa celebration is coming up December 28th. Shameless plug.
No, I love
However, it fits because we are featuring a vendors fair on that day, December 28th, and children's activities. And some of the vendors will be booksellers, authors. Myself, I'll be there.
I love that.
Selling books. We have a program that starts at 6. And Kwanzaa feast. Then on January 20th at 1 o'clock, I'll be signing books at the Antioch Baptist Church. I have a date that we're trying to put together in February at Second Baptist Church.
Let's get you back to talk about some of those. I tell you what, Shelley,
I could be a regular.
Let's make it happen. We'll see you in just a few weeks. How about that? Thanks for stopping in, Shelley. This is amazing. Everyone go grab the book. And thanks so much for being here, dear.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. You can visit mwcqc.org and search for both The Family Tree and How Billy Learned to Play, which are both books by Shelley Moore Guy. We'll have all those details posted at ourquadcities.com.